Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and today I'm going to take a look at the announcement of the Fall Creators Update for Windows 10. Let's dive in. So Microsoft's been having this Microsoft Build conference the last couple days, and before you just go tuning me out and saying, yeah, that's all just for developers, I think that they actually announced some pretty cool things today in the keynote with Windows side of what they were doing. And so I think that some of these are actually going to be great because I've had conversations with some people and they're like, I really wish this was there. And I think that some of these bullet points I'm going to go through today that I have in my notes below here is that they'll actually be able to take advantage of these features in this fall creators update. Now, these are announced features. I can't guarantee that they'll be there, but I think they're cool nonetheless. And I think that if there's something you like, you can actually, put their feedback in the feedback hub and kind of say, hey, I would really like this feature too, and make sure you bring it here. So with that, let's continue through my notes that I have here. And the first one is the Windows Story Remix. So this is like a video creator. It kind of transforms your photos and videos is what they describe it as. And watching the video, I thought it was kind of cool. I think that my kids are going to have way more fun with it than I'm going to have with it, because they can do kind of like 3D things like mixed reality stuff and transform and write on the video while it's playing and change it up. I think that's really cool. I think that I can even take some of the stuff that they have there and then make it into put a part of a YouTube video or whatnot. And I think that there's value there. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this and test it out and see how well it actually works. And then let's go into the next one, which is they're introducing a new design system for the next wave of creativity across devices. They're calling it Microsoft Fluent Design System. So it's a fluent design is delivering intuitive, harmonious, responsive, and inclusive cross-device experiences and interactions. And I think that the main thing is that and people are like, oh, this is a developer feature, it's just going to look different. But have you ever been in a device or an app or a program where you're using maybe touch or a pen or a mouse and keyboard or just a keyboard, and it's not fully, like, you're missing something? You wish it was easier this way or that way. I think that this language, especially for developers, will be able to help us be able to make a more fluid and more easy to use piece of software to have you be able to shine with your creativity. Because as a developer, when I develop, I want to make sure that it's kind of like the user gets to experience and get stuff completed rather than being hindered by maybe something that I put in there. So I think that that's a great step forward. Also, the Windows experience move with you across devices. And so this is the next bullet point. But what they mean by that is actually Windows, iOS, and Android. So you can move across all three of those devices. And I think that this is a huge step. I mean, I have 3 phones sitting over there. I have iOS, Android, and Windows, as well as I have multiple Windows desktops, a Surface, basically a middle media center, which is my second desktop. And depending upon where I'm at, I want to pick up where I left off. So they got this timeline feature where you can scroll back through of what you've done. They also have basically pick up where you left off. I've seen some of that right now with Cortana, and they're going to be using Cortana for this. It works pretty well. And it's mostly the browser stuff that's picking up across, and this is going to be more of a complete, completely featured accessory that you can use. So I think that is great in that point. And then the clipboard. I don't know if any of you have copied something maybe off your iPhone and you go to your Windows computer and you're just like, I can't paste it here. You got your, you copied something on Windows and now you can't paste it on Android. And you're just like, oh, I got to type it all out, or I got to send myself an email. I think that a really nice thing is I can copy and paste it, and so across devices. I think that's going to be extremely useful as well. And I think this is one of the huge ones that everyone has been asking for, that uses OneDrive. I know if you use Dropbox, people have been enjoying where they have placeholders, but what they're going to call them is OneDrive Files on Demand, which is basically kind of like placeholders. And I think this is huge. I really, really like this feature that when they used to have it in Windows 8.1, and or 8.1, one of those two versions. And I used to use it all the time. I used to have my whole OneDrive down there, and I only used to double click on certain files, and they'd just be local, and then everything else is as I needed it, they'd be on demand. I think this is a great feature to have. I think many people are going to use it, especially if you have multiple devices, or even if you have one device in limited storage. You can put other stuff up there, and it's going to be a great benefit to many, many users out there. One other thing is that this is they're going to be focused on the Windows Store, the best practices for continuous delivery of your app. So the developer side, right? So the Windows Store is going to be best for me to deliver my apps. But why that is going to be great for consumers is that as more apps go to the store, and I really hope that more and more apps go to the store. Microsoft, it looks like here from Build that they're going to put more effort into it, and I'm very excited about that. Because as a developer, I want to see that their effort's there so that when I'm developing an app or a program, that they're going to make sure that it's going to be the best experience for the user to be able to go and get that app. Because if it's not the best experience, then it's going to be very hard for me to put the app there, and then the consumer and whoever else wants to use it, other developers or whatever, actually have a great experience with it as well. So they have it so it's continuously delivery, so it's always up to date. It's always, good, overall. So I'm excited about that. I think one that I was watching this, I have a stand-up desk, not here, but where I was watching this today, and I literally just almost fell down with this one. And this is a shocker to me, but iTunes and more apps are coming to the Windows Store. I never thought that iTunes and Apple would actually deliver iTunes to the Windows Store. And so this is a pretty big one for me. I don't have iTunes installed on this desktop, but if it's in the Windows Store, I'm probably going to try it because it's super interesting. And, you can hook your iPhone up and everything is supposed to work. So I'm super excited to see this in action. This was a shocker to me. There's like Autodesk stuff, programs coming. I don't know which ones they are. As you see in the blog post here, I'll have it posted the link below that you can even go check it out to see what's all coming there as well. And then here's a more developer one. So this one you can kind of glaze over, but the nice thing about it is that they want to make Windows home for developers. And the reason why this is important is that then it's one place to develop. I have a Mac too, which I like to see some of that other stuff come to the Mac as well. But, if I'm always developing for each platform individually, I have to go get my Mac. I have to go get on the Windows device. I have to go to, another device for the Android or another program for Android. And to go through, and now it's all in one. It's going to be even to be able to use, they have some stuff come out. I won't bore you with the details there. If you want to know more information, go take a look at the blog. If you're interested in more and want to see a video on one, leave a comment below, and I will definitely take a look and put one together as well. But they have, a few things going to it, and they're expanding. Some of you may actually use this in the IT world as well, and is Bash, if you're Linux guys. And they're going to have 2 new flavors of Linux, Bash, on Windows and in the Windows Store. And so they're enabling, and they also have more Xamarin stuff to make it more cross-platform, which is a cross-platform development tool that is at the developer's disposal. And I think that this is great because in the end, for users, this is going to be more recognition between apps on your iPhone or your iPad or your Android device and Windows. And when you start doing that, and when it's no longer foreign between one device or another, I think that then you feel more comfortable in each device that you have. I mean, I even get that feeling when I'm going through. I'm just like, oh, this doesn't feel good. The web page is different. I'm used to the web page, and the app isn't full of features as the web page and stuff like this when I go back and forth devices to web page or whatever, or apps from one computer to another, and programs from phones to devices. So that's basically all. Just one other thing is that they hit on some mixed reality stuff, VR headsets and stuff. I encourage you to go take a look at those. I'm excited to see what comes and what's going forward here with that. But I want to thank you for stopping by and watching. I also want to thank the viewers and commenters here as well for giving me some more tips and keeping me on my toes and pushing me forward. I appreciate that a lot. It's been quite fun learning some new programs and creating some new things as well. And so I'm excited here. I got some music from the YouTube free library as well. So that should be in the intro here in this video that you already saw. So I want to thank you again for your support and leaving your comments below. Thanks for watching Gray Overload. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Gray Overload.